We'd like to welcome you back to the This is Friendship podcast, or if this is your first time joining us, we are so happy you are here. I'm here today with my co hosts, Joy
Hey!
and Carly.
Hello there.
Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Hey! Hey, girl, hey!
If, if you didn't catch us last week, we dropped an introductory show outlining our friendship story, a little get to know us as expressed by each of us, how this podcast came about, and we also discussed how important self love is in our lives. We'd like to officially welcome you to the first episode of the This is Friendship podcast. We invite you to sit back and enjoy our show, or probably and mostly enjoy it while you're multitasking, like all busy women are good at and all busy women have to do. Wherever you are finding us, we are wishing you success, happiness, and self love. We are committed to leaving you feeling encouraged and inspired through every episode, and would love for you to consider us as your very best friends. On to today's topic. Are you ladies ready?
So
Ready?
Our goal is to discuss real life topics, and we all agree that we can't think of a more real life topic than our current times and living during a pandemic. So, ladies, we are coming on the anniversary of a year of uncertainty and unknown.
Whew.
Fear, grief, loss, and forced change. So many things have been out of our control and have had a major impact on all of our lives. The impact of social distancing has been heavy, and it continues to be heavy for all of us. Now more than ever, it is so important to stay connected with that support system and infrastructure. But it hasn't been easy. Those friendships may be taking new form or perhaps not happening at all. Deep conversations with good company, mostly defined by our girlfriends, are few and far between. I miss pouring that glass of wine and really connecting over good conversation and company. And I think that the landscape has changed a little bit, and we're nurturing those relationships now more virtually than ever. So I thought we'd explore 3 questions in our first episode. So let's start with, what are you most looking forward to when this is all behind us? And Joy, let's start with you.
Oh my goodness. I think I'm most looking forward when this is all behind us just to kind of proceed as normal, go back to normalcy. I mean, I don't know if our new normal is ever going to be back to the full normal it was, but just going to playground. I mean, and my normalcy is going to playgrounds, aimlessly wandering Target aisles, Chick-fil-A play dates. Oh, I miss the play place. Let's see what else. Just play dates in general. Feeling comfortable at church and sending Beckham to the nursery. Friends and family. I think just getting into that normal routine of, hey, yes, let's do this, let's do that. I just miss that so much. And I know that that's such a big piece that everybody's missing and wanting just for that normalcy. And even this sounds silly, but even just going back to the gym and feeling comfortable there. Hugs. I love hugs. I'm such a hugger. So to see somebody and be like, "Oh, oh my gosh, I miss hugs. I miss that physicalness. I miss that um, squishiness, the closeness, and just in person, face to face. I miss that."
Yeah, I'm there with you. So you touched on it a little bit. You didn't use the same words, Joy, but I definitely am missing and looking forward to being able to be spontaneous again. Being able to, I don't feel like cooking. Let's go out to dinner.
Yes.
Or, I'm bored. Let's go do something.
Yes.
And not having to think 300 times through what it is you're doing and do you have all your mask and hand sanitizer supplies. But spontaneity is definitely a big one for me. And the other thing that is tied into something that was I couldn't do last year that I'm looking forward to doing is hiking the Grand Canyon rim to rim. I trained so hard for that, and it was such a disappointment to not be able to do it. So I really am looking forward to doing that. And I'm also going to be creating a digital course around that same topic. And so I'm looking forward to being able to do that too. So that's in my 2022 calendar for sure. Both of those things. Yeah.
Very cool.
How about you?
I can't
Amy?
wait. I can't wait to see that tutorial, that information rolled out. That's going to be awesome.
Thanks. I'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah. Please do. Please do. I had hugs on my list as well. So just those deep connections and having parents in an age range where there's a little bit of risk. We've been super just cognizant of that. So I can't wait to give just a deep hug to my mom and my dad when I see them and when we're all safe as well. We traveled to Turks and Caicos for our honeymoon, so we were very lucky from that perspective. There was absolutely no COVID on the island where we were at, and the people that were there that were on the island were super welcoming. And it was probably the first hug that I had actually had with a stranger who was a lovely woman that was at the restaurant for a long time. And so I kind of held on to her a little bit longer from a hug standpoint, just from a connection standpoint. So I'm very much looking forward to hugs. And then also traveling and exploring. The three of us had a Napa trip planned and we had to modify and to adjust. And of course, no complaints, and we want everybody to be safe. But I'm just looking forward to being able to explore and freely travel, because it's no fun to travel somewhere where you can't experience the restaurant or you can't experience you can't fully experience the culture.
Okay. Listen, Mommy. Want to the dentist?
All right. So a second question, what has been the most challenging part of quarantine for you? And Carly, we'll start with you.
I would say the most challenging thing for me the past year has been starting my own business in the middle of all of this. Certainly it was not the first year that I had envisioned, but launching a health and wellness business when no one wants to be near anybody is kind of challenging, because I started with the group fitness and my plan was to go into people's homes. I'm not a virtual workout girl. I don't have any desire to film that. It's not where my passion is. I don't have any desire to take virtual workouts to do those kinds of fitness. So it's just not what I wanted to do. So finding, some other things that I could work on and do, that was challenging for growing my business for the first year. So, but it led me to an opportunity to layer in health and wellness coaching a year earlier than I probably would have. So I am, now trying to build that side of my business as well. So that's been the most challenging. There's many things, obviously, but that's number one.
Sure.
Yeah.
Joy, how about you?
Oh, the most challenging part. I think for me, it's been probably a mental battle, because I'm saying, oh, I want to go do this. I want to go do this. And then I'm like, wait, but is it safe? Are other people going to also be safe? Have other people been safe that I'm going to be around? Is it safe for my toddler that's putting his hands in his mouth and sneezing everywhere, or still putting things in his mouth? Is it safe for me to take him to the grocery store? Is he going to be licking the cart, at a random time? Or, you name it. I think for me, it's just been the million questions that I'm tired of asking myself.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I think that I'm just kind of getting tired of that. I'm getting tired of asking myself. And we also experienced, about 2 weeks before things started really shutting down, we experienced a big loss. I had just had my second miscarriage, and heading into this quarantine, I was watching the news and seeing all of this craziness that was happening around the world, and all of these, rumors saying this is coming, get ready to close down. It's going to be weeks of this. And I just remember from last time it being so challenging mentally and so difficult, um, just trying to climb out of that little depressive state, really, um, that I just told myself I did not want to go back there again. And I think for me, between all the questions of everything and our loss, um, I knew I didn't want to go back down that road again. And I knew that something had to change. And I knew that I just kind of had to give it up. I knew that I wasn't in control, and I knew that um, I couldn't keep trying to be in control, but I was really, really struggling still with letting go of that control, um, and just figuring out how to be, knowing I'm not in control, and especially with all these other things out of my control, I just kind of felt helpless. And I don't know if a lot of other people felt that way, but it just kind of seemed like I always tell myself you can only control what you can control. And it didn't feel like that was much. And I just felt like that kind of snowballed and kept happening over and over and over again. That I just, in my everything personally, I just wasn't in control of everything. Um, and yes, then that's when I decided to pour myself into my books, because I knew that that was a positive outlook for Beckham, and I knew that he got so excited, and that is something that I could control and I could get excited about, and we could share together safely in our home and with others without being exposed in person. I could do that virtually. And so I took a leap of faith and I jumped into it, and um, kind of riding that roller coaster, but I think still mixed in with just the ins and outs and fluxes of all these different events, or life events happening, friends' birthdays, anniversaries, things coming up that you want to celebrate. You want to, go do what you would normally do. I think the ups and downs was just kind of like a roller coaster for me. The hardest part was kind of like a mental part, I would say.
Yep.
Sure. Thank you for sharing that, Joy.
Yeah. That's going to mean a lot to a lot of people that hear this. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I hope so. I mean, I know that I'm not the only one. This has affected everybody so differently, and I think that's why this is such a, hot topic and such a valid thing. Is we all need somebody to relate to, and everybody, no matter what you're going through, is going through something, behind closed doors, or putting on a big smile and pushing through, because, we are just wired that way to persevere and to keep chugging on. And I think mm, everybody's got their own way that they're affected so differently.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
I think that kind of hits on the fear and just the loss and the grief. And I feel like in the midst of the pandemic, it's made even real life before the pandemic even that much harder. So thank you again for sharing that, Joy. Thank you for joining us. We are going to close here. Please join us next week as we continue this conversation, or chat, as we like to call them.
This is real.
This is fun.
This is friendship.